स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दशूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अखण्डसेवानिरतं जीवनं शिवभावतः अखण्डानन्दमीडेहं नरेन्द्रस्य पदानुगम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So namaste vanakkam. Today, instead of introduction to Vedanta class, as I've announced in the previous class, today we will be talking about a person who practiced the entire life the Vedanta. So because all these days only we are talking about introduction to Vedanta, what is this, what is that and all. Anandamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha. Today we are going to study a person who practiced the Vedanta throughout his life. Today the auspicious birth Janma Tithi of Swami Akhandananda Maharaj, one of the monastic disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. What I have repeated a mantra which indicates Swami Akhandananda ji, Akhanda Seva Niratam. The one who devoted entire his life for the sake of, for the welfare of the humanity. Jivanam Shiva Bhavataha. How he has worshipped the humanity thinking they are God, Shiva Bhavataha. Akhandananda Mideham. I am saluting that Akhandananda Swami, who is just followed Swami Vivekananda. So among all the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, total 16 disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, the one who understood Swamiji clearly is Swami Akhandananda ji alone. So that is why Narendrasya Padanugam, the one who followed the footsteps of Swami Vivekananda is Swami Akhandananda. So Akhandananda ji Maharaj is a childhood name was Gangadhar. He was born 30th September 1864 on the auspicious day of Mahalaya Amavasya. Today also Mahalaya Amavasya, that is why we are celebrating his birthday. His mother Vama Sundari Devi, they say that she didn't get any labor pains while she gave birth to the child. That itself, you all know that. So that itself indicates, this child is not a ordinary child, the child is a divine child. So, right from his childhood, all the monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, when you look at them, they exhibited a very great, exhibited the great qualities that itself shows that, they are the future, a cream of the society, rather, the future pillars of the Ramakrishna order. So, right from his childhood, he exhibited an aversion towards gold or money. You may ask me, what is there to exhibit aversion towards the gold? What is going to happen? But, maybe probably the fiery monks, for them, giving up a gold and money is something, a great quality. So, his relatives, when he was a small kid, his relatives presented a gold chain. And he was so adamant till the gold chain is removed, this boy was crying. That itself is an indication that, he is beyond all those things. He wants God, not gold actually. Both starts with G only. And also he developed a tremendous power of concentration. So when he was playing with the boys, there are 3 mangoes hanging. And these boys, haphazardly they throw away stones here and there. But this boy mocks that 3rd mango only, I will hit. And he threw the stone and only third mango only gets. So that is his power of concentration. He is manifesting since from his childhood. And he has a great quality at the age of 12 itself, forbearance, titiksha. So he developed some kind of wound between two eyebrows. Doctors told it should be operated. Then, in those days, local anesthesia was not there actually. Once they give the anesthesia, means the entire body become numb. Maybe probably you get up after 2-3 days only. So this boy said, so we have to give the anesthesia. Then he said, no need to give any anesthesia. You just, go for operation. And he could do that. So he withdraw his mind completely, that much titiksha, all the forbearance, so much sahanam, titiksha, he developed since from his childhood. And at the age of 12 itself, he wanted to see the people who have realized God. And he came to know about Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and some particular house in Calcutta he was coming. So he wanted to meet him there. And by then he reached that house. So Sri Ramakrishna was completely absorbed in meditation and sitting there. And he is singing a beautiful song in Bengali, saying that, oh Mother Shyama, give away your sword and take this flute and sing. In Bengal, there are some songs, which talks about Krishna and Kali one and the same. So he was so happy to listen to the song, and Sri Ramakrishna was absorbed in Maha Samadhi like this. He was so charmed to see this Paramahamsa, he wanted to go again and again. So generally this Mahastra weapon is that, once Sri Ramakrishna comes to know that, he is my own, immediately he will throw an arrow saying that, come again. That means, you are already under the spell of he already casted the net. So he said, come again. And, that developed some kind of pull, and then he started going to Sri Ramakrishna, to Dakshineshwar. And actually, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell these young boys, come Mangalwar and Shanivar, Tuesday and Saturday. So he used to say Mangalwar is Madhuvar, so sweet day. So Mangalwar and Shanivar, generally Mangalwar and Shanivar they worship the Divine Mother's Day. I think in Mangalwar also they worship there. So once a Udasini sannyasi came to their house, Akhandananda's house. That time he was not Akhandananda, only Gangadhar's house. So to look at him, he was so charmed that, probably this is a life, it suits me. Like this, he went away with him. Without telling anybody, he just went away. Then mother was so much worried when she came to know that, this boy went away with this Udasini sannyasi. And, she was years together, probably months together, she was trying to search and find out. So in the process of searching, she went to Haridwar, Vrindavan, Kashi, all these places, and she could not find. By then she returned to house. This boy also came back. Then this mother, and she met Trailinga Swami there. In Kashi, she met Trailinga Swami. See, my son, along with the Udasina sannyasis, he went away. Please tell me whether he comes back or not. Then Trailinga Swami said, don't worry, ma, you just go back to your home. Your son will come back. Then by then she returned to the house, the mother, the Gadadhar also came back. Then mother scolded him furiously. You see, without telling me you went away, I have travelled Kashi, Vrindavan, all these places. You would have told me, what is this? You have troubled me so much. Then that boy said, so why you have born to me? If you are not so obedient, why you have born to me? Then immediately he said, had I not gone with him, you would have not visited all these places. So mother was so happy. Okay, it's a good answer he gave. Then, the Mangalwaram and Shanivaram, Tuesday and Saturday, this boy, Gangadhar, used to go to Sri Ramakrishna to Dakshineshwar, and Sri Ramakrishna taught him how to sit for meditation. And that is the mantra he usually writes on his tongue. He wrote some mantra on his tongue. And all these things, so that the spiritual practices, how to do, in what way, so many instructions Ramakrishna has given to Gangadhar. And one day Sri Ramakrishna asked him to massage. Then because he was that time he was going to gym and all, very healthy body, and he was pressing so hardly. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, Sri Ramakrishna's body is a Suddha Sharira, Suddha Sattva Sharira, And Sri Ramakrishna felt so much pain. Don't do this. Softly you should massage. Then he understood Sri Ramakrishna's body. Even bones also so soft. Generally, only bones are not soft, but when it comes to Sri Ramakrishna, bones are also so soft. That's what he felt. Then one day Sri Ramakrishna asked him, "What you do actually?" Then he said, though he's a young boy, maybe probably 16 years old, like an old man, he says, I cook for myself. I will not eat anybody's preparation. Anybody prepares, I don't like. I cook for myself. I go to Ganga and take 3 times, 4 times bath. Then this is what I do without any salt, without any karam, only like Avishyana only I take. Sri Ramakrishna was not so happy with him actually. The way, 3 times taking a bath, only Avishyana and all, some kind of rajas also is needed actually. Then he said, "Oh, you are doing like this. Probably this may not suit you. Go and meet Narendra." So he is the opposite person. Then when he went and met the Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna himself said, he eats everything. And he goes here and there. But his eyes are always on the God. So he sees Narayan everywhere. So you just go and meet him. So then once he met Narendranath, the moment when he sees the Narendranath, his first impression itself is, his eyes and, his body, his eloquence, his talking in different subjects and all. Just maybe half an hour or 45 minutes, he met Narendra and he came and reported to Sri Ramakrishna such a beautiful way. Sri Ramakrishna was amazed. Just seeing this person for half an hour, and then you could understand this much. Sri Ramakrishna was so happy, and they both are friends. And one day Sri Ramakrishna was praying so profusely, was shedding tears while praying to the Divine Mother, like a child, like he was praying. Then Gangadhar understood that, when you pray to the Divine Mother, you should do like this. Sri Ramakrishna also instructed, you should shed tears while praying. That is what is a real prayer. And there was a news that, Colonel Wolcott, World Theosophy President, has given up Christianity and taken Buddhism or Hinduism. That news, Gadadhar informed to Sri Ramakrishna, became a Hindu. Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him, saying that, why he has changed his religion. By just, staying in his own religion itself, he can realize God. That means, indeed, Sri Ramakrishna indicates that, no need to, change the religions. Hindu need not be a Christian and Christian need not be a Hindu. So you can follow your own religion and, realize God. That is the aim of all the religions, to realize God only. Why he has done like this, Sri Ramakrishna was unhappy. One day, Sri Ramakrishna was at Kali temple. Then Gangadhar also was there. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna said, so you look at the Shiva, because Shiva was lying on the Shiva only, the Kali is standing there. Look at the Shiva. Then immediately Gangadhar was looking at the Shiva. He could see that, Shiva was breathing. He could see that, Shiva was breathing, and above him, the Kali is dancing. So that indicates that, the power of Sri Ramakrishna, just by mere wish, he can show the God. That is what the Gangadhar understood. Then, after we know that Sri Ramakrishna attained Mahasamadhi in August 1886, and these all the direct disciples, they were in intense yearning for God. They wanted to go around the place to place and practice austerities. And this man, took up a challenge to go to see all the pilgrimage spots. He went to a place called, Haridwar. There, you could meet Mayaram Avadut. He is a great spiritual leader. Then, when he went there, actually he went to Haridwar there. From there, one supposed to go to Kedar or Badrinath. This young boy doesn't know how to go to Badrinath or Kedarnath. Straight away, this Mayaram Avadut was delivering a talk. So he did not ask anyone. Straight away he went there and asked, "Sir, I wanted to go to Kedarnath, how to go?" Then he said, you take this path, the straight leads to the Kedarnath only, just go. Immediately, this straight road, I thought, going to Kedarnath means, jumping from one mountain to another mountain. I am ready to go. But you are saying in a straight walk. Then immediately the Guru said, this boy, he could speak like this means is merely grace of this Guru only. Because Guru is so strong, that is why disciple also is so strong. Guru Meherban, Chele Pehelwan. So the Guru is so strong, that is why his disciple also is Pehelwan. So his Guru must have been very strong. His Guru is none other than Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Then he completed Kedar, Badri, all these things. And further he was proceeding towards, Tibet. So he found some traders, they were going to Tibet. Then he said, I wanted to come. So come, join. And they could take him up to some place. So they have gone there, there is a monastery, he just go. But he didn't know that how to go there. Whole night he was just, staying there, so much ice and all. Generally, where lot of ice is there, if you stay, your whole body is like as if you are in the freezer. So entire body was frozen. And this morning when the Tibetan monks came out from the monastery, they could see this man. They thought, he has already died. So they have taken him to the monastery and just they did something. Immediately this man could get up. They understood that, he is a very great man, because the whole night somebody was staying in the frozen atmosphere, definitely they would have died. But immediately they understood that, this man is something great. So then immediately they found that, he is a great man. Then that's how the Tibetan stories afterwards I will tell. So somebody asked in the latter years, what attracted you to go to Tibet? There is a book called In the Lap of Himalayas. So you get so many incidents. There is one more book called Call of the Spirit. This book is a very wonderful book. If anybody is interested to know more about Swami Akhandananda, these two books you can read. So somebody asked, Swami, what attracted you to Tibet? So then Gangadhar said, that time he was Gangadhar only. I don't know, maybe Akhandananda that time, maybe Gangadhar. So then, so he says, the Himalayas, tire after tire of, mountains. So I have spent so many days, snowy regions. It seemed that places were all familiar to me. When he was there in the Tibetan Himalayas, all these places as if I know earlier. Perhaps from some time long ago, my half-clad body was almost frozen. Then the next day morning when the Tibetan monks came, after they taking them to monastery, they were talking to each other, it seems, Gay long. This man is not an ordinary man, a man of continence, a man of self-control. Like this they were talking to him. So one day they saw that, he was having Sri Ramakrishna's picture with him. Then this Buddhist monks, after seeing this Sri Ramakrishna's picture, they also placed in the altar of the Buddha there. Who is he? This is Buddha. They started telling, it seems. So after staying for some time, he was very passionate to learn anything. Within the fortnight, you could learn the Tibetan language. Then what happened actually, this ordinary people in the Tibetans, there was so much suffering there actually. And the monasteries are thriving and common people are just not able to eat food. Then he wanted to help those people. Then these Buddhist monks, they did not allow him. That's the reason he had to come away from there. That's a different story. So then, one day he was there in the Himalayas. So he was in deep sleep. Then Sri Ramakrishna appeared and he says, look at this Himalayas. It is a combination, the sport of Shiva and Shakti. So eternal play is going on there in the Himalayas. Shiva Shakti Nritya is going on. So Sri Ramakrishna started singing song on Kali also. So it's all happening only in the dream. Sri Ramakrishna appeared before him. And after 5 years, he returned to Alambazar Math. In the meantime, Swamiji had gone to Chicago and returned to Calcutta. So there, Swamiji once He was not well, he went to Darjeeling there. So Sri Gangadhar, by then he returned, because all others have taken the sannyasa. After 5 years when he returned, then he also got Vijnananandaji and this Swami, Gangadhar took sannyasa. He became Swami Akhandananda, other Swami became Swami Vijnanananda. He wanted to see some places where the Britishers came and occupied those lands. One land is called the Plassey. When he went to that Plassey near Sarachi, so there you could see a lot of famine. So drought, people are suffering so much all around, When he was sitting there, people are coming and asking, give me something, this, give me this. They were suffering so much. Then, no water also, they were asking, give me some water to drink and all. So much suffering. So next day, he thought of coming away from that place in Plassey. Then somebody is pushing him down. Where will you go? Be here and serve these people. No, I cannot serve. I don't have a single pie to serve these people. Then somebody pushed him. No, you should be here and serve. Immediately understood it is a Sri Ramakrishna's command. And next day, he, because that area is so many Muslims, he went to many masjids and gave a talk there. These people are suffering, give me some subscription. So they have given some donations. He started giving relief, food, water, everything. Then he wrote a message to Alam Bazar Math. So I'm doing the relief work, please send some money. Then we ourselves don't have money, how can we send? But they don't want the Brahmanandji and all, because that time Math condition was very poor. Then he wrote to Swamiji. Swamiji said, okay, I will send you some money, you start, don't come back to Alam Bazar Math. So he did a lot of work there. And today you could see that in a beautiful Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama Sarachi, where Akhandananda lived throughout his life. So then you have to do something. Then started relief work. Then the many parents died because of the famine and all those things. So many boys became orphans. He said, this will not work. Only just giving a momentary provisions and all will not work. I need to start orphanage home. That is why with a few boys he started an orphanage home in Sarachi. So how he lived there. He did not come back at all. Even after he became a president of the order, also president of the order supposed to be in Belur Math actually. How we see the Gautamanji Maharaj has gone away. But he said, I will not leave this orphan boys and come. So now and then he used to go and again he used to return back to Sarachi. So these boys, these orphan boys, they are all veritable gods for them. So he used to bathe the children, not just simply bathing, he used to chant the Sahasra Nama, Sahasra Sirsha, Purusha, Sahasra Aksha, Sahasra Path, like this. By thinking about them, they are the gods, they used to give the bath and all. This is how he developed that Sargachashrama, orphanage home. Now I think school and all are there. So this is how that actual work in 1897, the first relief work of the Ramakrishna mission started in Sargachi Ashrama. So that is the village called Manda village. It was started. So now he lived there, and so many, you can see that so many reminiscences in those areas when he lived there. So when you read about those reminiscences, how he has served the people, the instruction that he has given, because Bhagavatam says, the one who worships the God in the temple is only the first kind of devotee. The one who sees the God in all beings and serve, it is what is Uttama Bhakti or whatever it may be. Probably this Akhandananda Maharaj is serving the people is not just seva. It is not that, many other organizations, they serve the people. It is something, is worshipping the veritable gods in the human beings. So that's why when you look at his conversation, so beautiful, so charming in this book, I try to say a few these things. So once he says, one devotee asked, who is a sadhu? He says, he is a sadhu who is thinking of God always, depending on him under all circumstances, and is without ego and selfishness. Not I, but thou. Are we doing anything? Can we do anything by ourselves? Though he though he has done tremendous work there, but his idea says like this, are we doing anything? Can we do anything by ourselves? Seated there, showing the heart, he is doing and getting everything done. இந்த மாதிரி ஐடியாஸ் இருந்தால் தானே நல்லா சேவை பண்ண முடியும். Ashokanandaji in one place he says, you cannot do the proper karma yoga unless and until you have a tremendous devotion to the God. If someone says I am doing the karma yoga without devotion, means probably that is not real karma yoga. I am speaking the truth to you. At every step of life I have felt this. Every step of life I have felt this. Without his will and grace, nobody has any power to do anything. That means what he has done throughout his life, through his will only. O Lord, not I, but thou. These are the words uttered by the Master. These are like great aphoristic dicta, Mahavakya, revealing the supreme truth. You can attain perfection by repeating them. Naham, tuhu, not I, but I or thou. Again I sollakodadu. That is the very problem. The most dangerous one letter word is I. Be careful about it. Everybody, not only you, including me. So there is one more regarding raising. So they used to call him Baba because he was serving the people, right? For everybody is a Baba only. So he says regarding early rising, because there are many, early rising is a big problem nowadays. So the Maharaja of Khetri would rise late. Actually, when he was in Khetri, when he was traveling in Khetri also, you could see that many were not educated. He started so many schools there also while he was Parivrajika. Just only I am saying that only he has done a lot of service in Sarachi and all. But when he was in Parivrajika days, when he was traveling in Jaipur, Rajasthan, he started so many schools there with the help of the Raja. There only this incident happened. The Maharaja of Khetri would rise late. One day I told him that those who eat too much and rise late can never attain prosperity. From that day, the Maharaja began to rise early, even earlier than I. I would get up and find him standing and smiling at me. Some days he would be walking on the roof, some other days I would find him reading in the library with the help of a lamp. Our master and his disciples all used to rise early. One night I slept in the same room with Swami Saradananda. After the Mangalarati, the morning service in the shrine, we got up quickly. After Mangalarati, we got up quickly. I had thought, our master is up. Master means Sri Ramakrishna is up. How can I be sleeping? There is a footnote here. The Swami was evidently referring to one of the monasteries of the order, and years after the death of the master, because of their vivid sense of Sri Ramakrishna's continuing presence, his disciples would thus refer to his awakening before the morning arati. Continuing presence. Because Swami Vivekananda writes in the Ideals and Ideals of Ramakrishna Math and Mission, he says, though he is a Brahma, descendant as Avatara, he says, Sri Ramakrishna Avatara Ekoni, Sri Ramakrishna Avatar Ekonu Chadeni. Is not. Even now, people can see him. Sri Ramakrishna has not given up his Sri Ramakrishna's body. Because the Brahma takes a human form and avatarana, he descends as an avatara. But once his Leela is over, he just goes back. But Swamiji says, the Sri Ramakrishna avatara, he has not given up his avatara yet. Now many people can see him like this, he says. So that is where now continuing the presence, even this Math also, there are many people who have seen the presence of the Sri Ramakrishna. So he says, how can I be sleeping? Just then the Swami tried to awaken me by making a little noise with the window shutters. But I let him know what I was already awake. So lest I should be late in rising, I used to address myself at bedtime. Akhandananda, you must get up at 3 o'clock. Just at 3, someone would call me, oh Akhandananda, get up. It is 3 o'clock. I do not know when the master slept or Swamiji slept. Whenever I called them during the night, the response was immediate. The higher the life, the less the sleep. The body must be strong and stout. Rise early, meditate a little on the bed itself, for the mind then is naturally calm. Not bed మీద ఉకాంది జపం పంటది சொல்லவில்லை, கொஞ்ச நேரம் ஒரு 5 minutes. Later roll up your bedding, cleanse the room, sprinkle some water, do every bit of work with a purpose. This is the point you need to remember. Do every bit of work with a purpose. So one more point he says, once I was thinking anxiously, who will perform the early morning arati and how? எனக்கு இதே தாட் வருது, புதுச்சேரியில் யார் பண்ணுவாங்க மங்கள ஆரத்தின்னு சொல்லி. Later the master appeared in dream and said, nothing elaborate need be done, only one incense stick will do. At such times I used to clearly see the master as in the days of Dakshineshwar, in that very room with these cots and beds. He manages his own affairs. Just to see, today there was no sweets. I was wondering how to manage. Unexpectedly, a devotee has come up with fine sweets. I have witnessed such things many a time. Just if you tune yourself to the God, if you are there under his umbrella, everything will happen. You just sometimes, with your naughty nature, you try to, when sometimes we try to come away from the umbrella, what is there in the umbrella? Let me experience veil also, adi vaanga vendiyadu avladha. So if you don't want to be, everything happens, means, everything happens. Probably sometimes, we are naughty. That's why he says, okay, if you are so naughty, you just pass this test. That's all. So he says he manages his own affairs. So then one more point I'll tell you. In the dim light of a candle in the hall, Baba was sitting silently on his reclining chair. Baba means Swami Akhandananda. One or two devoted disciples squatting at his feet. After some time he began to speak. How long will you keep turning the rosary beads? இது ரொம்ப சூத்தியாக இருக்கணும் நமக்கு. நம்ம சைடே சுவாமி அக்கண்டானந்தி சொல்கிறாரு, ஜபமே பண்ண வேண்டாமா அப்படி தோணுது இல்லை. How long will you keep turning the rosary beads means, don't come to any conclusion. Call on him with intense longing. அதே தான் சொல்கிறார். You do the ஜப்பம் and அந்த ஜப்பத்தில் ஒரு intense longing கூட இருக்குன்னு சொல்கிறாரே தவிர don't count அப்படி சொல்கிறல. Gradually everything will come to a standstill. The rosary beads will stop. The fingers will not move. Even the lips will not open to utter his name. All bonds will fall off, even that of clothes. While repeating the name of the Lord, you will see his form effulgent and smiling. You will also smile and then weep and say, why did you not appear before? Why have you come so late? இந்த மாதிரி தாட்ஸ் வருதா? சுவாமிஜி அதெல்லாம் கேட்காது. Be earnest, be impatient. Not that you have to repeat his name so many hundreds of times, or that you have to do so much penance, but you have to cry aloud, earnestly and piteously, appear before me, appear, you must. To so many devotees you have appeared, why not me? You have cleared that all whoever shall weep for you, to him you will surely come. Then why are you not coming to me? Show yourself to me. Cry to him with a heart full of yearning. The master would ask us, did you call on him with tears today? If we answered yes, you would be very glad. Again he would ask, from which corner, outer or inner, of the eyes did the tears trickle down? And then he would proceed to explain the tears coming from the corners near the nose are tears of repentance, and those from the outer corners are tears of love. Once again I will read, because many people this question will ask me. So he would proceed to explain, Sri Ramakrishna proceed to explain, saying that the tears coming from the corners near the nose are the tears of repentance, and those from the outer corners are tears of love. So finally one more thing I will read and conclude. So So everything, orderliness is very, very important. He says, the postman came with a money order. I think younger generation, they don't even know what is a money order. I'm sure of it. The attendant received it and later showed the coupon to Baba. At once he asked, where is the address of the sender? Because you have to write the sender's address, otherwise they cut and take away that. At once he asked, where is the address of the sender? You don't know? That is no excuse. You had no desire to know. You did not bother to know. You could have written down the address from the money order form. You could have asked for it. You could find it in this address register. In such ordinary matters, you act like this and you are aspiring to knowledge. You are aspiring to knowledge of Brahman. Is that so easy to attain? How keen must be the desire and how long you have to struggle? Then only can you know. Do you understand the secret? First the desire to know, then struggle, and then success. Desire to know, then the struggle, and then success. Now finally, one more thing I read and I close it. He says, you have to do even small things in a perfect way. Doing the inside work very carefully and the outside absurdly is not the way. You have to do every work with due care. Whenever you do any work, put your whole mind to it. And you have to think thus, this very work is my sadhana, spiritual practice. This will help me to realize God. Dr. Ganguly, a nurse in Dhaka, tends a garden in her spare time and thinks, this is the garden of my beloved God. I am watering it so that when the plants blossom, I shall decorate my beloved with those flowers. The trend of thought should be like that. This is meditation along with work. This is sadhana. He says, the happiness one derives by thinking of oneself becomes doubly multiplied when one thinks of somebody else, sharing equally in one's own happiness or unhappiness. The more you practice in that way, the more yourself spreads over the world and then can self-knowledge dawn. That is what we exactly see in Swami Akhandananda. Because he is seeing his happiness in others. That is why he is self, expanding. So the self, estu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva bhudvijanataha. Because he is seeing self in all the beings. That is why his self expansion. Not only seeing God in the temple, he started, his self is expanding everywhere. He could see in every human being. In the age of Kali, one thing that counts is Lord's name. Go on repeating His name. Whatever work you may be doing, you must have this conviction within. I am nobody, He is everything. Make no effort beyond your own capacity. It's a very important word. Just repeat His name for 108 times or more. That will bear fruit in time. Try to increase the number slowly. Do your duty, and in the midst of duty, keep alive the idea that you are doing His work. Let activism come first, then will follow peacefulness, and lastly will come enlightenment. This is a beautiful sentence. Let activism come first, then will follow peacefulness, and lastly will come enlightenment. So this is what today we just get to know some points about Swami Akhandananda Maharaj. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.